where did we leave off? I just interrogated the ninja chief, the blue ninja chief, and found out he's working for Telloch. But the ninja, I had the blue ninja chief by the throat like this, and all of a sudden, I hear the word ninja vanish, and then puff of smoke, and then all of a sudden the blue ninja was gone. All the ninjas were gone. Saying, what? This is not good. I have a feeling the ninjas have a completely different agenda than the one, than something, than just simply working for Taloch. So, we go back to Lake Town, and we talk to the mayor of Lake Town, and he says to us, well, we don't have a lot of, resources and men for you to go and reclaim your city, but we need to find a way for help you regain your city of Thunder Mountain. So I believe Tis got the idea that she would try and summon all the animal friends of the forest to try and help her, uh, help us reclaim Under Mountains. I didn't think that would be good. But I said we have to deal with these goblin hordes first surrounding Lake Town, and the mayor agreed with me. So, the goblins were in full force, and they started firing their catapults and firing their ballistas at Lake Town, and they set fires, and the Lake Town was burning down to the ground, and so on and so forth. So we had to rush. Tommy would rush in with buckets of water, and Wolfric would rush in with buckets of water, and so would Freydis, and I remember.
Yes, let me tell this part. I used nature magic to summon up some of the water from Lake Town to help quench the fires from burning down the city, and I
Yes, I remember that. So I said, well, we need ballistas ourselves. You have ballistas, Mayor. The mayor told me. No. Well, we don't have any such thing. Not in our town, anyway. So we need to build ballistas. Great mighty ballistas. So we built ballistas, and we sent them. I produced these great ballistas. I modeled them. I modeled them so that they could fire very long distance, right across the lake, because that's what the goblins had, right? I had Tommy investigate out their ballistas. He brought me back some samples of their ballistas from the goblin camp, and so I devised their ballistas of our own, and we started mass producing them. And so we cranked up the ballistas, and we set the bolts going, pah! Smashed right into the catapults and the ballistas of the goblins. Of course, Lake Town was badly in need of repairs, but we managed to drive away the goblins, I can tell you that. I remember, as soon as all of their camp was smashed by the ballistas, me and Wolfric and Tommy, we go and three of us, we just tear into the goblins. We said, we've had enough of your bullshit. We're going to tear you down completely. And the goblins scattered. 2 dwarves and a halfling. You didn't think you'd see goblins run from just 2 dwarves and a halfling. But me with my sword, Wolfric with his axe, and Tommy with his little sword and sling, we made short work of them for sure.
I remember quite well. I would jump on the back of many a goblin and slit their throats quick, nice and like. I did, yes.
Yes, Tommy, you did a good job there. So the goblin camp was dispersed, and Lake Town was no longer under siege, as it were. But we knew we had to get to Under Mountain, so we all went.
What about me? I didn't. Oh, that's right. I didn't. I was backfiring blisters.
That's right, you were. You were, Uncle. Who's telling the story here, anyway? So, so we all went on the mountain, and I believe the mayor gave us a small entourage of guards. I think we only had like 15 guards from Lake Town. 15 guards. Myself, Wolfric, Tommy, Fredis, and my uncle. And we approached the gates of Under Mountain, and we say, "We want our home back. You're abusing our people." And all of a sudden, a messenger came to the gate. It was one of the giants from the High Keep. And the High Giant said, "Your people are mostly dead. We've killed a good many of them, and the rest of them are slaves. For your sake, that better not be true. Yes, it is true. And get gone, dwarves. This Under Mountain is now under the control of the giant, the new giant king. You cruelly slew him, our old one." "Yes, we did. And I'm proud of it too," I said to the giant messenger. "Now let us in." "No, I think not. Turlock the sorcerer will have you for his dinner." Yeah, well, this is not good news. How are we supposed to? We just broke one siege, and now we're going to lay siege to another. It's back to our own homeland. This is not good. Not good. Not good. Not good. So, I didn't know what to do. Then I remembered. Don't we have cousins far to the north? "Yes, of course we did," I said to you. We have many cousins. Our family and relatives up north in the Grey Mountains. The Grey Mountains, yes. So we journeyed. We went on a long journey. As we journeyed on the roads up north, a great she-bear came out of the forest. I said, "Ah, a bear!" "Oh, but this was a very kindly she-bear." She told us her name was Katla. Katla. And she transformed into this really large, beautiful woman, great bosomy woman, deep matronly voice. She says, I am Kotla." She sounded not like my wife, Redis. "I am Kotla, and I am from the Beornings. My people want to help you regain your kingdom of Under Mountain. Come, come with me to my home, and we will feast upon mead and bread and honey." And so we feasted on bread and honey in the home of the Beornings with great Katla. And she had there with her many sons and daughters, her husband, whose name was Adelwald, and they agreed that they would help us. So they travelled with us in the morning up to the north of the Grey Mountains, and there, up north, I met my cousins. My cousin, who was named was Birkir, King Birkir. Apparently, my cousin had become the king of the Grey Mountain dwarves, and I told him about our plight, and Birkir said to me, "Cousin, we have to, we have, we will help you, we will get you, we will bring an army of dwarves to Under Mountain, and we will get this necromancer out. Don't worry." And who are these? Are these your friends? Yes, yes, these are my friends. This is Wolfric. Nice to meet you. And this is my halfling friend from the Shire, Tommy Undergallows.
Nice to meet ye. I be Tommy Undergallows, I be.
And this is my wife, Freydis Aikenskjorvis daughter.
Oh, yes, yes.
I remember her. Remember, I was at your wedding. Yeah, that was several years ago now. Oh, yes. So I will bring an army of dwarves. And so Birkir, my cousin, brought an army of dwarves toward the mountain, along with the Bjornings of Adalvard's people. And we besieged Under Mountain. And the dwarves, we did battle with the giants, and it raged on.
Yeah. I remember. I leapt on many a giant's back that day. Yes, I did. I leapt up valiantly with my battle axe and my shield, and I gave him a mighty stroke, and the giants fell crumbling to the ground.
Oh, well, I did a couple more myself, I did. I went up there, down, and I climbed at the back of the giant, and I slit the giant's throat, like, quick, like. Oh, I did.
That you did tell me that you did. Beer, Birkir, Birkir. He led the dwarves in. There are more goblins in there, and I see a necromancer.
He had resurrected many of the dwarvish people he had slain, and now they were zombies, and the zombies would come to eat our brains like you know. But I was not afraid of any zombies. I took my sword, my great sword, I slashed the zombies. Back! Back, you zombie creatures! You were my people once! We get to the main audience chambers of Telok, and there he is sitting on his throne.
Very nonchalantly,
He said,
I have been waiting you. you think you can defeat me? I think not.
and with that he snapped his fingers, and out came more zombie servants.
But they didn't tear I just took up my little hobbit dagger now, like, and I sliced through their zombies real fast and quick I did, slashing off their arms, slashing off their their hands is and the like. I until they started to suffocate me, and they got on top of me like, and I said, get off me, I said, get off me. I don't want to be no zombie dinner. Get off of me. And I took my sword and I slashed open that zombie's chest like that I did.
Well, I said, oh, these zombies, there are so many of them. What are they doing? We have to get Horton back.
And then I, and then in my heart,
Yes, Freydis, you tell the story now.
in my heart, I knew we had to get the mountain back. Somehow I knew it. So I prayed. I prayed to Nialiki Tapio's maiden, but she wouldn't hear me. So I prayed harder, but she wouldn't hear me. She's not hearing me. Nialiki, I cried. I cried in my heart. Nialiki, why don't you answer my prayers? I pray for my people. Why do you not answer? Where are you, Nialiki? So I heard a voice in the back of my head, and the voice said, You pray. You pray to the wrong. You're not praying. She cannot help you. She cannot help you in this way. You pray to the wrong source. She is not the source of all that there is. So I remembered Akko, and I cried unto Akko, and I said, "Oh Akko, my creator, oh Akko, oh grandfather, hear my prayers for myself and for my people. This sorcerer, this necromancer fiend, he has enslaved our people." And Akko, he heard. So I stood up before the necromancer fiend, and we engaged a battle of words that has never been heard in all the 9 worlds until this moment. And the necromancer spoke.
I summon the sun and moon and all that thinkings of the earth. The stones shall smite thee cruelly, and give thee a tremendous dearth. I summon Hisi, and the Hisi shall take thy soul back beyond the beginning, when all was created. Hisi was the greatest. Hisi was the mightiest power, and he will claim thy soul.
And then I stood up, and I called, "O Lord Akko, thou art greatest, thou the first, and thou the last. O great Akko, O great spirit, hear my call, you who was before the dawn, or the beginning before the dawn of time. O great Akko, hear my prayer, you who are Lord of all the trees, all the turtles, and the breeze, you who created man and elf, thou who created the dwarven folk, thou who created the little ones, mankind and the halflings. O great Akko, O Creator, I beseech you, thou art true. O Krako, Lord Akko, hear our prayer." And my song was the greater, and Akko, he came down with a gust of wind that was felt, that had never been felt before in all the 9 worlds, and it swept the necromancer fiend away. And the great wind of Akko, it swept all the zombies away, and the goblins and the giants. And I arose triumphant, and I praised my Creator. I praised the source of all that there is. O Lord Akko, O Lord Akko.
And on the mountain from that day forth was freed. That is how we reclaimed our home. Yes, it was a good day. And on that day forth we felt the need. We felt the need to build a temple, build tribute. And I wanted to build a tribute to Akko. So I said to my Uncle Orm, "Uncle, you are High Priest. Should we not build a great temple in tribute to Akko?"
And I said, what do you mean build great temple? No. Rako's great temple is already established, long before, in the mountains, in the forests. That is Akko's great temple. And let us help to preserve and cherish the nature, and to keep our mountain home thriving and alive. Take care of the mountain goats that dwell on the mountainside. That will be more of an honor to the grandfather, to Akko Lord Almighty.
And that is the way it was. Meanwhile, the city was established, re-established, people thrived, We freed the people of the dwarvish people who were made slaves, and we we here nursed them back to health with my wife Radice's help, and many of my cousin Birkir's people from the Grey Mountains came. We thanked the Bjornings for their help, and there was everlasting love and peace between us and the Bjornings ever since. And we established a mighty kingdom that grew and flourished. Yes, and
Doromedin said that I was a mighty stonekeeper. Doromedin Iron Meter is more of a blacksmith, and he knows more of the metalwork, but I, Wulfric de Rutan, I know more of the stonework. And so I built mighty pillars, and we charted stone, and rebuilt the whole city of Undermountain. We worked in marble that day. Many different colored forms of marble, too. Reddish, pinkish, whitish, bluish, whitish, bluish, greenish, whitish, greenish, and it shimmered. And Undermountain was one of the most fairest dwarvish cities in all the dwarvish world at that point. So, many years later now, we've all gathered in the Undermountain Tavern with my Uncle Orm, the tavern keeper. And now I have a little baby, myself, a little baby boy, Dag Bjartur. Dag Bjartur, which means bright day, 'cause for it is a good bright day. Toby, he was with us for a while, but he was getting homesick. And he went back home to the Shire, his home, where he comes and visits us every now and then. I believe he's with his wife Daisy, and they have a few children themselves. And so, that concludes our tale for the time being, till something else happens. I'd like to see any evil try. Hisi for the time has been banished. Anyway, that's enough for us, dwarvish friends. We'll see you later. Have a very good evening, and may your dreams be filled of blessings of Akko beyond your wildest imagination.